Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello,
How's
everyone.
y'all good?
Hi. Hey. It's okay.
Thank you. Happy day 2 of Tech Inclusion. Thank you all for being here and getting up early. And there's lots of coffee on both floors, so please feel free to refuel. I know I will. My name is Melinda Epler. I'm the founder and CEO of Change Catalyst.
And I'm Wayne Sutton, co-founder and CTO of Change Catalyst. And again, thank you all for coming today. Yeah, we really want to thank you all again and thank our volunteers and our team because without you all, the sponsors, the partners, the friends, our volunteers, and the Change Catalyst team, none of this would be possible. So if you can thank our volunteers and team, give a round of applause, please.
So we talked about this yesterday. For those of you who were not here yesterday, I just want to go over again our mutual agreement. Be fully present and give your full attention. One of the things that we do at our conference is to invite speakers that may not have ever spoken before. And so your full presence for them is going to help them show up fully and thrive on the stage. Secondly, this is a safe space. So we have a code of conduct right out front. Really put your empathy on full force and make sure that you're really using inclusive language and thinking about how you show up for others in the space and obviously outside of this space as well.
Yeah, take risks, ask questions, open yourself up to new ideas. I really try to, when we do some of our consulting work and we're talking with entrepreneurs, is like, think why on a lot of things. So, but take risks, ask questions, make space for the quiet ones. So for those of you who follow me on Twitter, as I stated yesterday, I'm an introvert. So if you see me in the corner or kind of, standoffish, it's not you, it's me. But make space for the quiet ones. Take care of yourself. Self-care is very important, especially in today's climate of society and the world. Coffee, water, restrooms, but take care of yourself emotionally. It's okay if something's triggering to like leave or take a walk and or take do a check-in and meditation, but take care of yourself.
And have fun.
Yeah. Lastly, have fun. This work can be very, very difficult, but try to have fun.
So, as an inclusive event, we like to talk about some of the things we do in hopes that you all can take this back to your workplaces and what you do as well. Representation matters on the stage as well as in the audience. So we work really hard to build a speaker lineup that really represents all backgrounds, including all underrepresented backgrounds. And we received a Gender Avenger Award first in New York and then here as well for the speaker lineup. All people restrooms on both sides, so all people, all gender restrooms, live cart captioning here, and there is a live person on the other line here typing the words. ASL interpreters provided by LinguaBee at each of the stages. Volunteer guides for anybody that needs a guide throughout the day. We are doing something new with lunch today, so we've provided a guide of different local restaurants that have vegan, gluten-free, halal, kosher options as well.
Yeah, and we do our best to work with the local community and the entire tech ecosystem to make this inclusive event as possible. So thank you all. So real briefly, a little bit about Change Catalyst, and we work to build inclusive tech ecosystem to advise and startup programs and resources around the globe, and such as tech inclusion events. We really have an ecosystem approach, and we have a look at things not in terms of okay, we need to work on diversity and inclusion. How can we correct tech culture? But really look at it in terms of a behavior change, because we know that look at the problems often is not like this big picture, but it's like an individual that we can point out in terms of trying to solve create an inclusive culture. And look at really focus for inclusion for all.
So here's our ecosystem approach, really looking at entrepreneurship and the next wave of tech companies, making sure that we're supporting and building the next wave of startups and tech companies that are diverse and inclusive. Workplace recruiting, also hiring, promotion, leadership, and culture as well. Education, looking at K through 12, higher ed, coding schools, boot camps, and you'll see subjects throughout the day that are focused on each of these different areas. Policy. Policymakers can make a huge difference in diversity and inclusion in tech in terms of reinforcement and also pushing, sometimes pushing us as well to create change. Storytelling and media, representation matters. Again, when we see it, we're more likely to be it. So really focusing on storytelling and how we show up and show the world who is in tech. And lastly, ecosystem builders, the folks like us who are working at the ecosystem level of change. And we're doing this all over the world. We started in 2014, and we've now made our way around the world and actually impact a good portion more of the world with different projects that we're doing with tech hubs around the world. So, wanted to share briefly some of the things that we have learned in doing that work around the world, because people ask us a lot, well, what's different here, what's different there? And what we found is it's universal. We have a universal problem in tech, and part of it is because we're taking this Silicon Valley template and we're putting it in other cities around the world. And so we need here to solve this problem so that the template changes, the template improves, it becomes inclusive for everyone.
Or create a new template.
Or can, yes, exactly. The second is to focus on solutions. We have learned that the diversity and inclusion conversation is often really focused on the problems, and it's important to acknowledge how we got here. It's important to learn how we got here, but we have to focus on solutions to get to the next place. So this conference is really focused on solutions to diversity and inclusion, what you can take back and really implement.
Yeah.
Designed, oh, go ahead.
Designed with inclusion for everyone. Again, as we stated, we will look at inclusion in all aspects. And then also companies must fit systematic problems. If we look at some of the big companies that impact this work, usually what happens is a ripple effect. When one company does something, another company does something. But we need to go beyond that. So what we hope, one of the things we hope you all learned today was some new solutions you can go back and take back to your organizations.
And it is really systemic. There's a trend to focus on unconscious bias training, and that's just not enough. It's a piece of it, but the bigger piece is really looking at your systems and processes and culture and working together across the whole organization to create change. Lastly, allyship, and I'll talk about this again in a minute. I believe we all need to be allies for each other, no matter who we are, no matter what our background. We have to show up for each other, and we have to make a difference together.
Yeah. So you can find the agenda, SF18, Tech Inclusion at Coast/agenda. Then you also find it in the back of the rooms with some of the monitors. So please look at the agenda throughout the day. And last, a little bit of business. This event can't happen without our sponsors. So if you can give some of our sponsors a round of applause. Thank you. Presenting sponsor, Google for Entrepreneurs. Our supporting sponsor, the Kauffman Foundation, Yelp, and Pivotal. And our event sponsors, Twilio, Credit Karma, who's also be hosting a happy hour later today, Oracle,
Mesosphere, Medallia, Clover, Indeed, ThoughtWorks. Some of these companies have been with us since the very beginning. We really appreciate your support, and also that you're showing up and really helping to create a more inclusive environment in tech.
Yes. Zillow Group, Automatic, Symantec, Asana, Salesforce, TechTown Portland.
Chan Zuckerberg, Adobe, StubHub, Samsung Next, SAP, Indeed again, and Repertoire. So thank you all, sponsors, for helping make this happen. Great.
Yep. Awesome. Well, I'm going to step off, and I'll be back shortly with our first fireside chat, John Mehta, and see you soon.
Okay. Awesome. So, some of you all know, Wayne asked me to talk about this, by the way, just so we're clear. But some of you all know and may have seen my TED Talk recently was launched on TED.com. It was an interesting process to get there, and I just wanted to share with you, please go to this URL and download it and share it with anybody that you think needs some extra understanding about allyship, some extra understanding about how they can really show up for others. I created it in a way that should be palatable and kind of easy for people to take action. So I just wanted to go over a few things that I talked about so that we can all kind of show up for each other today. One is to start by doing no harm. So we have pronoun pins. Make sure that you know the person's pronoun, know how to pronounce my name, know how to describe my religion, my disability, my ethnicity. It matters to people, so if you don't know, ask. It's okay to ask. Advocate for underrepresented people in small ways, so be fully present. Really think about ways that you can step in if you see something is not quite right. Step in if somebody says something that's offensive to your colleague. And then change someone's life significantly. Show up for people in a bigger way. What we have found is that for underrepresented people in tech, it starts in education, then hiring, and there's a real bias in our hiring processes in tech. Promotion and pay equity is a big deal and really important to start to address in leadership. I hit the glass ceiling, you'll hear that in my TED Talk, and if we don't have diverse leaders at the top of our tech companies, of our world, honestly, things aren't going to change. We need to show up for each other and make that happen. That's it. All right.